This all happened around summer of 2022, when the funk scene was beginning to gain a lot of attention. I myself have been a fan of this genre as far I can tell. Anyways, aside from all the stories and filter throughout the community, there is one event in which has traumatized me, and still haunts me till this day. This was the time that I've discovered and fell in love with the subgenre known as street funk, that consisted in mainly lo-fi and almost muffled drift beats that contains an ambient. Among the street funk genre there was a lot of really talented producers such as Dada Katsu and Daihatsu, but I personally got close with one that went by the name of Whyachi. Him and I became friends beforehand and he would show his amazing and unique beats. He had such a good style and definitely has brought something new to the table. One particular day he was showing his new beat as usual and I got the idea of making my own street funk beat without having much knowledge, so I thought it'd be great to ask Whyachi for tips on how to produce street funk. I sent him a message that said, "Yo, you think you can help me? I'm planning on making street funk and you're the one person I know that can make it very well." He responded with a brief and almost rude tone, "No." This of course shocked me and left me frozen. I didn't expect Whyachi to respond that way. He also added that it wasn't a good idea and that I should just make something else rather than street funk, but the way he said it seems although he was mad at the fact that I was wanting to start making street funk. It was 3 in the morning when I thought to myself, fuck it, I'll do it, I don't care what Whyachi thinks or says. So I loaded up FL Studio and got on my desk ready to make a street funk beat, but I realized that FL Studio wasn't loading, it wasn't responding, nor did it let me exit out or turn off my computer until what seemed like an eternity did the software finally opened and loaded. Finally I thought to myself and started right away. I began by setting the snares since it was the easiest, and as I played them, it began looping, but looping uncontrollably and would go faster and faster till it became an almost disturbing sound that caught me off guard. I wasn't able to move my mouse either to stop the looping, and few seconds later my computer crashed. I was pretty freaked out as this has never happened to me, but I continued and rubbed it off as a weird glitch and reopened FL. But I noticed the logo was a bit different. It had a really devilish red tone of color, and I also noticed that in the corner I could see FL-chan was hanged on a noose with a sign that read Whyachi in all big red bloody dripping letters with her eyes gouged. I jumped from my desk realizing what I just saw and mumbled under my breath, "What the hell?" I immediately rushed to turn off my PC and go to bed. I didn't want to see that image of FL-chan again, so I decided to sleep even after being disturbed. I woke up at exactly 3:15 in the morning to the sound of knocking coming through my window. I was terrified and paralyzed from fear, wondering what or who would be knocking on my window this late, but I built up the courage to get up. I grabbed my baseball bat and was ready to pull the curtains. I took a deep breath and in a quick motion I pulled the curtains open, and there I saw Whyachi 2 inches from my glass staring into my room with a sickening smile that will forever haunt my mind. I screamed at the top of my lungs as I saw him opening my window and crawling into my room while keeping that smile. He walked up to me, grabbed my shoulder and said the words,
"I told you not to make street funk."
I began pleading and crying to him, "Please, please don't do anything to me, I'm sorry, I will never try to make street funk again." He chuckled and responded with,
"It's too late for that."
And then he slit my throat and gouged my eyes out. I was letting out blood-curdling screams for hours until my neighbors could hear me and called an ambulance. I luckily survived and somehow managed to not lose my eyesight, but the day after, while I was laying down in my hospital bed, a nurse walked into the room and handed me a letter. I opened it to find a letter that said Whyachi written in my own blood. I threw away the letter and that was the end of it. As of today I cut off everything street funk related on my friends lists, playlists, and favorites. I did not want anything associated with that subgenre, and especially with Whyachi. It still haunts me today to think he came to my house and almost killed me and afterwards used my own blood to send me that letter. I now just stick with regular funk, but when somebody mentions that subgenre I can't help but remember that night and have chills run down my spine. I don't know where Whyachi is today, but I just hope he burns in hell for what he did.